guys. So we have another really big weekend going on astrologically. There are so many really powerful and potent aspects hitting this weekend. We also have Mercury going retrograde, and we are just in a period right now where we are standing in our power, expanding our mind, and universe this weekend is actually really asking us to reawaken the magic in our lives and sort of embrace that on our pursuit moving forward. Very, very potent window this weekend for manifesting the things that we want in our lives going forward. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Friday, September 24th, 2021, and this is your astrological outlook for the weekend. I am going to be talking about the energy for Friday, the energy for Saturday, and this weekend. The big energetic day of the weekend is Sunday. So I got a whole bunch to say about Sunday as well. So let's start at the beginning. Let's start with Friday, and we will see what energetics are playing out this weekend, carrying us through, okay? So, number one, on Friday, we have the moon in Taurus, which will be coming into a conjunction with Uranus, who is still in an opposition to Venus, although it is 1 degree off exact today. Yesterday, we had the exact opposition between Uranus and Venus. This is a very potent aspect. This aspect has been doing a lot as we've gone through this past astrological year of 2021, and it will also be carrying us through 2022. And it's really throwing things up in the air in terms of our relationships, our finances, our partnerships, because it wants to sort of shake things up and remove anything from our lives right now that we've built that is actually keeping us out of alignment with these really deep desires of our heart and of our soul. So this is a very turbulent, energetic Venus in opposition to Uranus. It may have impacts on finances and economies and resources and supply chains and stuff like that. But it's also, we're in a window right now for really some conflicts and upheavals going on in relationships, because Venus rules relationships and partnerships. Venus rules Libra. Mars is also currently in Libra, indicating potentially conflict in relationships. But with the opposition to Uranus, this is for the reason of rectifying things and putting them into a proper, better, and more authentic alignment. And with the moon coming into a conjunction with Uranus today, the moon is really like a trigger planet of the zodiac, of all of the planets. Whenever the moon is making an aspect, it has a tendency to really trigger energetics, because the moon rules our feelings and our emotions and what's going on inside of us. And a lot of times, how we're feeling translates into how we're thinking and how we're acting, how we're behaving. And so the moon is a really important, like I said, trigger for other energetics. And with the moon coming into a conjunction with Uranus today, who's still in a very close opposition to Venus, this still is likely to trigger some of these major upheavals, shocks, surprises in these, Venus, Taurus, Libra dominant themes: relationships, partnerships, economies, finances, resources, supply chains, our material comforts, our material pleasures. Definitely, primed for some type of upheaval with these energetics. But again, it is for the purpose of putting things right in a way that is more conducive to us aligning with our deepest desires and what we truly hold inside of our heart, and the truth of who we are and what we're becoming on a very deep and authentic level. So we have that going on. This aspect with the moon is a trigger for more of this disruptive energy, upsetting the balance of things. That was a major theme of the energetics yesterday when we had this aspect exact. If you missed my video from yesterday, you might want to look back and check that out, because I talked all about, this aspect and what we could potentially expect with it, and the energetics that were in effect as this aspect came exact yesterday. And it really was about just creating this upset in the balance of things so that things can come back into a better alignment. And really, the energetics today are telling us that this is so that we can truly ultimately make our heart happy, okay? Venus on Friday is at 16 degrees of Scorpio for this moon conjunct Uranus in opposition to Venus. And that Sabian symbol is a girl's face breaking into a smile. So we know this is really these transformations, these changes, these upheavals, these shifts going on right now are really satisfying Venus in Scorpio, which is all about aligning with the deepest desires of our heart. So even though things may seem a bit chaotic or uncomfortable or scary or difficult right now in this process, Venus is discharging the Sabian symbol of a girl's face breaking into a smile. So we know that she's actually happy about the progress of things, whether or not it feels that way right now. And for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. Or for those of you who are unfamiliar at this point in time, a lot of the work I do in terms of my astrology is centered around the Sabian symbols, like I just referenced. And what they are is a group of energetics, a group of symbols that describes each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever a planet is at a specific point, discharging a specific degree, making an aspect, we can look to the Sabian symbol and read the symbol, and it really just gives us more clarity in terms of interpreting the underlying purpose of that aspect, of that energetic, in the context of this grand unfolding cosmic blueprint that is always carrying us through time and space. So I always reference the Sabian symbols. I use them. I always look at the degrees of the planet and read the Sabian symbols so that we can gain more clarity about what's going on. And like I just referenced, in this case, Venus is telling us that any of these shocks, surprises, or upheavals that are going on, even if they might seem uncomfortable right now, are really for the purpose of making us happy, making us ultimately happy in terms of attaining and aligning with our deep and true authentic desires that reside within our heart. So Moon conjunct Uranus today in opposition to Venus, but her face is breaking into a smile. So she is actually happy. The symbology is describing that universe is happy with the progress that is being made despite how it might feel at the moment. Remember, Uranus rules silver linings, and when silver linings are in effect, we don't usually perceive them as a good thing while they're happening, but ultimately it's like if this thing never happened, then all of these other good things wouldn't have taken place either. So that's kind of the energetic that we're operating under with the moon conjuncting Uranus on Friday and in opposition to Venus. On Friday, the sun is at 3 degrees of Libra, and that Sabian symbol is the dawn of a new day, reveals everything changed. And the earth, which is always in a direct polar opposition to the sun, is at 3 degrees of Aries, and that Sabian symbol is a cameo profile of a man in the outline of his country. So with this, I feel like generally, collectively today, we're going to sort of be feeling refreshed and renewed in some type of way, a fresh energy to embrace the future. And this is actually a really nice setup for what we're going to be experiencing Saturday and Sunday. And you'll see as I progress through the energetics and talk about what is coming like on Saturday and Sunday and how this lines up and makes sense. But with the earth at this degree, a cameo profile of a man in the shape of his country, it's like we are grounded today on Friday in our personal values, in what we hold like very dear to us inside. This is what we're grounded in right now, although we are feeling this refreshed sense of this refreshed attitude in terms of our experience in how we want to take our life going forward. Just a definite fresh energy to the day today on Friday. We have Mercury on Friday at 26 degrees of Libra. This is the degree where he will be going retrograde on Sunday. And this Sabian symbol is an eagle and a large white dove turning into each other. So right off the bat, we're talking about two birds, air element, learning to fly, sprouting our wings. And they are like transforming and metamorphosizing and transfiguring into each other constantly. An eagle and a large white dove are turning into each other. So this is definitely themes of metamorphosis, transformation, and in a way that allows us to sprout wings and fly. But it's like we may be struggling a little bit with this mentally in terms of like our head versus our heart. You know, the eagle would be much more representative of like the head, the cognitive space, the mental energy, and then the dove would be more representative of the heart the heart space. And so there may be sort of like this juxtaposition of these things, like trying to figure out how to turn one into the other or how to like reconcile them in some type of a way. Or also this could be like struggling perhaps between a desire to like elevate and liberate and soar, and also sort of to maintain this peace and harmony and in balance, the eagle versus the white dove turning constantly into one another, a back and forth. But I really think, because this is the degree where Mercury is going retrograde, that through Mercury's retrograde process, we're actually going to be learning to do both of these things simultaneously. And it's just definitely speaking about, regardless of whether we are, associating more with the eagle or whether we're associating more with the dove, both of these are very noble, blessed, sacred birds, and they're both very powerful in their own ways. So it's sort of like this back and forth, we're like transforming this way and then coming back to this, and then going back this way and then coming back to this, sort of like the head and the heart. Not really sure, but I think that it's also describing an integration and a fusion of both of them, and an ability to sort of transfigure between one and the other depending on what circumstance is called for. And it just a very interesting degree in the context of everything that's going on and our process and process of moving forward into the age of Aquarius. We are a large white dove and an eagle constantly transforming into each other at this point in time. So very emblematic of the other energetics that are in effect this weekend. And also remember, Mercury at that degree, 26 degrees of Libra, is still in a square to Pluto and a trine to Jupiter. Although it is no longer exact, we've already moved through this energy of the exact activations throughout the week, but there is still this definite energy of this penetrating insight and this expanded understanding of things. And, we are an eagle and a large white dove turning into one another. So there's just this back and forth, but regardless, we are in the air, we're flying, we're seeing things from an expanded viewpoint, and we are seeing into the dark and the depth of things as well. And it's just creating this process of metamorphosis and transformation. But another thing on Friday is that we are very much so defending and protecting and nurturing this process. And I'm saying that because we have Mars at 7 degrees of Libra on Friday. And that degree is a woman feeding chickens and protecting them from hawks. Again, it's strange. We have two different birds being spoken about in 1 degree twice today. So there's 4 different birds that the energetics are talking about today. And it's not just today. This will actually carry through until tomorrow as well, because Mercury and Mars will both be at those same degrees. But I'm just reading this as we are defending and protecting what we truly, and nurturing what we truly care about with Mars at this degree. And in this case, I feel like this is this transformational process that we're going through right now. We are like committed and dedicated to these changes that are happening, even if they're making us a little bit uncomfortable, even if we're a little unsure of it, and we're sort of like going back and forth, taking a step forward, maybe taking a step backwards, sort of like on like the teeter-totter with things. But we are in some level like also simultaneously dedicated to nurturing, defending, and protecting this process. And I also think that this is in reference to also those very grounded personal values that we are sort of rooted in today, with the earth at a cameo profile of a man in the outline of his country. And again, we have this sense though of freshness and newness, and a willingness to sort of seize the day with the sun at the dawn of a new day. It reveals everything changed. So Friday overall, we're motivated to stand up and defend our values and the changes that we are making right now to align with our heart. Remember, we have the moon in a conjunction to Uranus as well. Opposite Venus today, the girl's face breaking into a smile. So, like I said, we are motivated to stand up and defend our values and the changes, the transformations that we're making to align with our heart. And we are seeking a balance between how we soar and liberate ourselves and how we maintain peace and harmony during this transformational process. So that is really how I'm reading the energetics for Friday. Now let's move on and talk about Saturday. And Saturday, this is like a really inspiring day, you guys. This day, the way that I'm reading it, especially in terms of the symbology, but also in terms of the aspects that are going on, it's like all about reawakening the magic and activating destiny. We have a super powerful window this weekend with like so much manifestation potential by both the aspects as well as the symbology involved in the aspects. And Saturday really sort of gets this started. Let's see where to start. Saturday, we have the sun is going to be coming into an exact trine to the North Node. The North Node rules the destiny, the collective destiny, the path forward, the evolutionary path, the evolutionary program according to the collective blueprint that is divinely imprinted in the cosmos that carries us, through all time and space. And with the sun, the light, what makes us thrive, what makes us feel alive, what gives us our life force and our energy, coming into an exact trine with the North Node, this is opening up a window for destiny to be activated. And before I start talking more about this, I want to bring up a little bit of Vedic astrology just for a quick second. Recently, the North Node, according to the Vedic system, moved into the nakshatra, which is called Kritika. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Vedic astrology, there is this aspect to it that's called the system of nakshatras. And what nakshatras are essentially each sign broken down into three subsigns within the sign. And these subsigns, the themes of these subsigns are based on the fixed stars. And to be completely honest with you, with everything that I've learned about astrology, all the different systems that I use, all the different systems that I incorporate when I look at astrology, which there's a lot of them. I use all different types of astrology. The nakshatras are legitimately one of my absolutely favorite tools. I don't talk about them that much because I try to focus more on, the Western astrology. I can't make these videos super, super long, and they would be like an hour and a half long if I said every single thing, that was coming up about everything every day. But I wanted to bring this specifically in today just because it gives a little bit more clarity. And with the North Node in this nakshatra of Kritika, this nakshatra, it's associated with the 6 crying sisters, and it has themes that have a lot to do with rectifying some type of injustice that has been committed. And the symbol associated with this with Kritika is actually the knife. And it's sort of has themes of rectifying injustice through some type of harsh action, okay? And with the sun coming into the trine with the North Node in this nakshatra, I do think that we might see some rectifications of injustices that have gone on, individually and collectively at this point of time. And in the context of all the other energetics that are unfolding right now, we are in hardcore secrets revealed, and we're very strong secrets revealed energy. And there's just a lot of gaining insight energetics that are going on right now. I think with the sun coming into this trine while the North Node is in this nakshatra right now, we might see some wrongs being righted generally and collectively with this. But it also may lead to some type of increased aggression or conflict or war type behavior as well. So I wanted to throw that out there just because I feel like it's relevant. And like I said, the nakshatras are very powerful and they are a very potent tool for understanding astrological energetics and what we might be experiencing. So wanted to say that. But ultimately, you guys, with the sun coming into this trine with the North Node, like I said, this is activating destiny and it is the trine. So things are falling into place in a proper alignment with this. Things are being shooken up big time and sort of thrown up in the air and all out of alignment. But with the sun on Saturday coming into this trine with the North Node, they're falling back into place in a more proper alignment. Now, the degree where this is happening, 4 degrees of Libra, where the sun will be, this is a group of young people sit in spiritual communion. And the degree where the North Node is, 4 degrees of Gemini, this is holly and mistletoe, reawaken old memories of Christmas. So this is all about reawakening the magic, you guys. Spirit is guiding the way forward. We have to surrender and release like our past beliefs and open to embracing and learning something new. And this is the path forward, this path ahead, this direction that we're going now with the sun aligning with the North Node, these things that are falling into place. This is the path to true love, true fulfillment, and our gifts and our blessings. Holly and mistletoe reawaken old memories of Christmas while a group of young people sit in spiritual communion. There is this spiritual energy, spiritual infusion. Spirit is guiding the way, and it is guiding the way to reawakening the magic and aligning us with our gifts and our blessings. And that is the path forward that universe wants to take us down at this point in time so that we can truly come into our full potential and begin to serve the greater good of humanity in a much more efficient and productive way, as well as receive the benefits from that ourselves in our own lives. So we're, actively rebuilding our future this weekend, and reawakening the magic is a definite theme that is going to help us in this process. We also have on Saturday, we still have Mercury at the degree and eagle and a large white dove turning into each other, talking about this metamorphosis process and, trying to align the head with the heart and merge them and integrate them together. We have Venus at 17 degrees of Scorpio today, and that degree is a woman filled with her own spirit, is the father of her own child. And again, this is talking about the Holy Spirit. She's filled with the Holy Spirit, and a group of young people are sitting in spiritual communion, and we're reawakening old memories of, or holly and mistletoe are reawakening old memories of Christmas. This is really about connecting with the Holy Spirit, re-embracing the magic, re-embracing the faith and optimism with life, coming into a holy communion, embracing the spiritual connection, and allowing that to set the pieces in place to move us forward down this new path that really wants to bring us our gifts, our blessings, and our ultimate fulfillment. So I think that's really beautiful to have that energetic going on Saturday as well. Again, this is a very strong manifestation window because the sun is in the trine with the North Node, creating the future path, and it's activating destiny. So a really beautiful day on Saturday, a very good day to really align with your spiritual calling and to embrace that and to have faith that it is truly leading you down the path to receiving gifts and blessings and abundance like Santa Claus would bring, okay? And then we move to Sunday. Sunday's the big day this week. It is like Saturday is a very strong manifestation day, but Sunday is a really, really, really potent, powerful day for creating our reality. And this is because, there's a lot of aspects hitting on Saturday. But one of the main ones, and I'll talk more about this in a minute, but just to, say it up front, is we are going to have Mars, the moon, the black moon, and Saturn all in an exact trine in air signs, all at 8 degrees of air signs. And this is really going to be doing so much to have us actively building, rebuilding, resetting foundations, relaying structures in alignment with our heart and our soul, overcoming fears and liberating and freeing ourselves from things that have held us back from being able to do that up until this point. Very powerful day, but let's start at the beginning, and I want to talk about everything that's going on Sunday before I get too far ahead of myself. So on Sunday, you guys, first off, we have Mercury going retrograde on Sunday. Mercury will retrograde at that degree, 26 degrees of Libra, an eagle and a large white dove turning into one another. And so again, this is a transformational process, going back to reconcile, Mercury retrograde, going back to reconcile both the expanded viewpoints that we are gaining, the eagle, and the desire to be free and liberated, the eagle, with peace and harmony and surrender to the divine, the large white dove. Both of these concepts integrating together. And over the next few weeks while we go through this retrograde process, this is what it's sort of going to be reconfiguring in our brain. We're sort of going to be finding a way to merge the expanded viewpoints and the desire for liberation with that peace, that balance, that harmony, and that surrender to the greater plan, to the divine plan. And this is indicated by the degree at which Mercury is going retrograde. Let's see. And we can be both. Like I said, we can be both. This is an integrating process, and we are reconfiguring our minds. This is Mercury, to learn how to do this over this next period. Like I said, Mercury's at 26 Libra. This means that Mercury is still in a square to Pluto, although it's no longer exact. It's 1 degree off, and still in a trine to Jupiter. 2 degrees off, but still very, very much active. So this is more secrets revealed, more expansive energy, and it's telling us that through this whole Mercury retrograde process, this will continue to be a theme. We are not getting out of this secrets revealed energy anytime soon. We are not getting out of this like vastly expanded understanding and perception and insight into things anytime soon. This is the theme that is going to be carrying with us for a while. And this process, this Mercury retrograde, is probably going to be bringing some things up that happened around eclipse season, around last Gemini season, when we had a Mercury retrograde process then as well. And we also had, at that point in time, 3 Mercury-Neptune squares, which were really doing a lot to try to help us break through the illusion and the confusion and the delusion that a lot of times has been being projected through like the screens and the narratives and stuff like that. Well, we're in this process again, and over the course of Mercury's retrograde period, I think that especially with these aspects in effect for the retrograde, the square to Pluto and the trine to Jupiter, I do think that we are going to be going back over things and gaining more information about things that have been hidden, deeply hidden truths and facts and information, and it's going to be expanding our mind in a really big way. Now, remember, with Mercury going retrograde, we have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron, and now Mercury retrograde. So we are in right now, with Mercury now going retrograde, this like very, very, very strong going back over things, reconfiguring things, revisiting, reevaluating what we've learned up until this point. And we're going to be figuring out a lot over this process because of these aspects in effect while Mercury is going retrograde. And again, this may bring up themes from Mercury's last retrograde that happened. I don't remember the exact dates, but it was sometime, in June, I believe, during Mercury's retrograde season. The last one during Gemini season. So all of this as well, okay? Next, we are also in black moon energy on Sunday. The moon will be moving into Gemini, where the black moon is right now, and will be coming into an exact conjunction with the black moon, which is currently at 8 degrees of Gemini. And this is significant because if you remember, I said a few minutes ago, Mars is at 8 degrees of Libra today. And Saturn is at 8 degrees of Aquarius. So with the black moon at 8 degrees of Gemini and the moon coming there for the conjunction, this is a very big energetic that is in effect today as well. And 8 degrees of Gemini, where the black moon is right now, that is aroused strikers surround a factory. So, and with the moon here, when the moon and the black moon are together, this a lot of times brings up our fears and our insecurities and can make us feel like a bit rebellious and sort of wanting to break free from things. And, with this degree being activated, I really feel like this weekend, moving into Monday, people are going to be feeling very rebellious and fighting for their rights and fighting for their fairness and standing in their power and standing up for themselves and not taking a lack of consideration, a lack of fairness anymore. I think that people are going to be feeling very motivated to stand up for themselves and speak their minds and write things with this energetic. Also keep in mind that we have the Sun and Mars in a conjunction. And that this energetic is doing that as well. So people really might have some fighting words this Sunday, this weekend. Remember, the black moon is in Gemini right now, which rules our thoughts and our speech. So just something to keep in mind. Black moon energy as well. So if you're feeling, these insecurities and these fears bubbling up, it could be a result of that with the moon there. And now let's talk about this exact trine that we have going on. Again, it is an air sign. So it's talking about our mind and our ideas. Okay, this is the driving force behind it, is what we're thinking about and what we're talking about. We have Mars at 8 degrees of Libra. That degree is a blazing fireplace in a deserted home. We have Saturn at 8 degrees of Aquarius. That is beautifully gowned wax figures on display. And then we have the moon and the black moon at 8 Gemini, aroused strikers surround a factory. This is very strong manifestation energy coming in. Mars and Saturn. Saturn is the builder. Mars gives us energy to do it. And the moon is the trigger for everything. So this is coming back into true heart space, that degree 8 Libra, blazing fireplace in a deserted home, internal passion and the fire burning within that is motivating us, Mars, to stand up and fight back. That degree of 8 Gemini, aroused strikers surround a factory, and to lay new foundations, Saturn, that support our true heart's desires and passions going forward, building something beautiful. Saturn at beautifully gowned figures, wax figures on display. So Saturn, Mars, moon with the black moon, we are actively building. It is just happening. What we're thinking about is laying foundations for the forms that are coming, and we need to stay out of fears with this because we don't want to be manifesting our fears. That is very important under this energetic. Simultaneously, we still have the sun in a trine to the north node, adding to this manifestation potential. Again, this is carrying over from Saturday, things falling into place. Manifest through authenticity, destiny being activated, reawaken the magic. And this is really creating this super, super potent manifestation potential that is going on Sunday. Also, we have the Chiron moving from 12 degrees to 11 degrees of Aries on Sunday. And that Sabian symbol is the ruler of a nation. So something may happen with prominent rulers or leaders now while Chiron's at this degree. Could be regarding health or wounding in some type of a way. It could be actual, literal, or also via secrets revealed that wound some type of public image with Mercury Retrograde. So we have to keep this in mind as well. So overall, that is the astrology for the weekend. Very potent, again, manifestation window. Stay out of fears. In terms of the tarot for this weekend, when I asked God to give me a card to clarify the collective, we got the Page of Pentacles, you guys. This is all about manifestation, opportunity, skill development, and it's like a fresh start. That dawn of a new day reveals everything changed. That takes time, though. It's an earth sign. It takes time to diligently build. And this to me is also, going right along with the sun and trine to the north node and Mars, Saturn, and the moon that we have going on. And why? What is it for? What's on the back of the deck? Once again, you guys, we have the moon card. This card has been coming up so much. And in order to do this, we need to follow our soul. We need to follow our intuition. And this is how we find clarity. And this is how we sort of make our way through the mystery and the shadows right now. So that is what I have for you guys today. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.